Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to episode 71. As always, I posted a link on Twitter if you guys want to join. You're always welcome to. If you want to add into the discussion, feel free to join. On today's episode, we're going to be previewing the Girona versus Barcelona game. Barcelona's going away from home. We're going to be going into, I think it's basically like a Catalan derby. And then after, like towards the end, we're going to be just talking about like some brief little bit of news. For example, we're going to be giving our thoughts on the fourth kit, La Liga's issue with our wage bill, etc. We're going to be just like briefly touching up on the issues. But Alex, tomorrow we're playing against Girona. It's going to be an early kickoff. I believe it's going to be at 10:15 Eastern time. Let me see at what time it's going to be. I believe it's going to be around like 4 or something, where it's going to be like 4:15, like Spanish time in Spain. But tomorrow we basically have to win. We have to win, keep this winning momentum going, just basically pile on the pressure onto Real Madrid, onto Real Sociedad, and this is a great chance for Real Madrid to drop points.
For sure, like you summed it up perfectly. Tomorrow is one of those games again. These are the games that matter. And a Clasico match generally doesn't matter. I mean, I know it does for morale and for it's a rival. You like beating your rivals, and it helps you do better in the season. But when you're talking about title contention, um, it's not really significant. It's the games like these, the ones that seem easy, but we can drop points in. Girona isn't doing particularly bad. They're mid-table. I forget where exactly, around like 12th, 13th.
They are 12th on the table right now.
Yeah.
They are 12th in the table. Let me actually just like share my screen, and just so I can give like a brief
Mm-hmm.
right there. Let me zoom in right here. Okay, so Girona are 12th. Then they're what's it called? They are on 21 points, and this is their last 5 matches played. Barcelona's at the top, and let's hope that by the end of this weekend, we're still at the top, and we increase this gap between us and Real Madrid, because Real Madrid play against Real Sociedad. Now that's going to be a game that we're going to be looking out for, because this game can have some very strong implications for the title race.
For sure. And it's what we're saying. The games like these are the ones that matter most. The games where you're playing away from home against a mid-table team. Yes, from an odds or a betting perspective, you seem like the favorable team to win, but that doesn't mean anything. Teams like these have nothing to lose. They're not gonna win the title, and they're not gonna get relegated either. They're in a pretty safe spot, I would say. So they're just gonna make your life miserable. They're teams that usually play low
Mm-hmm.
block on the
Mm-hmm.
counter, and
Exactly.
for a team like Barca, there's hard teams to play against, right? Very very frustrating, very tiring because um, if Barca was a counterattacking team, that's fine. I mean, we have chances to counterattack, but that's not our style, right? But we're a ball possession team, and yeah, it's comfortable to have them in their own third, but it's also frustrating when you don't score goals, and a slip of concentration like that can lead to a counterattack and a goal against us. So tomorrow will be an interesting game for sure. Tactically, how Xavi sets up, I believe he will go for the 4-3-3, with the 3-man midfield as opposed to the 4-man midfield, and I just think I think the way we should go about it is, don't see this as an opportunity to get 3 points. See this more as an opportunity to not lose two, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know that maybe sounds a little dumb, or just very obvious, but you can't go thinking, yeah, we're gonna get 3 points. No, you gotta go thinking of, hey, let's not lose 2 points, right? Let's get the three. Let's not tie, or I don't think we'll ever lose against Girona like that. But again, anything is possible. Tomorrow, again, we can't stress this enough. Extremely vital game, and like you said, this is gonna games like these are gonna set the pace for the rest of the season, and we gotta hope we keep the winning streak going.
No, yeah, exactly. Because okay, so we are on a very good run of form. Um, basically, like
In
wanna
all competitions, you might add.
exactly, and with like Barcelona's in a very good run of form. So some of our performances haven't been there, but we are improving. Let me just pull up the lineup. Let me just save it. Okay, right here. But okay, Alex, I'm just gonna ask you real quick. How would you line up for this game?
Well, considering it's a league game and it's an important one, I think. I would go for a pretty conservative lineup. I would put Ter Stegen on goal, obviously. Balde, I would go with. Um, I would actually switch it up a little bit. Hear me out. I would go Ter Stegen, Balde, Christensen. I mean Conde and Araujo at center backs. Right back, I will go Sergio Roberto probably. And my midfield would actually be De Jong, Gabi, Pedri to give De Jong more playtime, and then up top, I'll probably go Ansu Fati and Dembele. I see now looking at your lineup. I see you change things up a little bit. Actually, you put Jordi Alba to play. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. I understand. I just also want to keep some of the starters because
Hmm. No,
it's not the
the
same to start off the game right than have to expect them to come from the bench.
no the thing is that Xavi said that he's going to be rotating for the squad.
Mm,
Um,
that's fair.
yeah, there are going to be rotations. We should expect rotations just because like we've had some very tough games. And on top of that, in midweek, after the draw, I believe we're going to be playing in the Copa del Rey again. So we're gonna want our squad to be refreshed. And on top of this game, we're not gonna have Lewandowski because I think he's gonna be playing his last game of suspension. And then also Ferran Torres is suspended, so we're out with two of our forwards. So I mean, and then we saw against Getafe that front three of Ansu Fati, Dembele, and Rafinha didn't work. Xavi could try it again, but we Xavi could also experiment with the partnership of Ansu Fati and Dembele, and the players that I would definitely like to rotate. I mean, like to basically like rotate and get some rest is Araujo. One, I do believe that Jordi Alba is going to come back in. He hasn't been really playing that much, except from the couple of Reagans like Intercity. They didn't really play much. Um, Last game, Pepe is going to be fit. So this is the lineup I would start with Hector Bellerin as a right back, Koundé, Christensen, Jordi Alba. I like to see the double pivot of Frankie de Jong and Frank Kessie there. That's
Fantastic.
a good option. Yeah, that's a good option because with Kessie in a decent run of form, it could be a great opportunity for him to be tried in that position. And then with Pedri and Gavi. But then again, if Xavi wants to go with that three-man attack, he can always do that. Just against a team who is going to be defending in a low block, I think it's going to be very, very good to be able to move the ball fast and basically break them down in quick transitional plays. On top of with that extra man in the midfield, you can watch out for the runs.
Yeah, I mean, the more I look at your lineup, I can see how it makes sense and how it would be a good idea to also rotate the players. I just don't know if the four-man midfield with Kessie and De Jong is needed. Maybe I don't know. I mean, ultimately, I think Xavi's still gonna be although he's gonna rotate. I think he's just gonna rotate the attack a bit, if anything, and try to be more conservative with defense. But who knows? I do see Alba starting now that I think about it. Excuse me. And
Yeah,
I think maybe Bellerin. The thing is, like, he hasn't played a lot, so I don't even know if Xavi would trust him to. But maybe Sergio Roberto. I know for a fact Conde and Araujo aren't going to start,
yeah,
but
exactly. It's not Hector Bellerin to Roberto. We just want to be like freshen up the team.
right.
That
No,
yeah,
and
exactly.
listen. I'm not the only reason I said that lineup was because I'm very no nonsense, especially when it comes to Barca. Like,
Yeah,
I know sometimes we mess up a little and it costs us, but listen, if Xavi wants to put the U12 team to play tomorrow, we win. I don't care as long as we win. It doesn't matter to me. So that's just something to keep in mind.
yeah.
I think from a tactical point of view, I don't think he needs to really go to what he was doing before, which was the format midfield. I don't think it's a team that requires it, but maybe I could see the midfield being um actually I would actually go for Pedri, De Jong, and Kessie.
Okay, okay.
No Gabi rest him because Gabi is younger.
Okay. So you're resting Gavi. Okay,
Yeah, and maybe if needed, he comes off the bench. But I mean,
okay.
listen, he's just been so good that I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, okay.
And
Yeah,
Gabi,
it makes sense to rest Gavi just because he has been playing a lot and he
yeah,
is a player who runs a lot.
yeah, he plays. Yeah, he runs a lot. He I can only
Hmm.
imagine how exhausted he must feel. But listen, honestly, from also like a neutral perspective, if you want to look at if you want to look at it this way, Pedri and Gavi, when you think about it, they're only like
Yeah,
20
they're
or
super
19
young.
years old.
Yeah,
Do you
they're
understand how insanely young that is?
and you're starting for Barcelona in their midfield. That's
And
crazy to
and they're
think about.
breaking through. It's not that they're
Ex-
in the B team playing well. No, they're
I know,
breaking through, and
I know, and
they're
at such
playing
a
in
high
what I would
level.
consider they're playing in I would say the second best league in the world. I would say second best, because the Prem is very competitive too, and there's a lot more competition, I think,
Hmm.
for the title. But listen, we are so blessed to have a midfield like this, and they can only get better. They're
They
only
can only
getting
get better.
better.
Hmm.
The older they get, the more they learn and the more experience.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
back to the game, I would actually think Xavi is gonna opt for something more in between what you and I had in mind. Do I think he's gonna go with the four-man midfield? No. Would I be surprised? Not really. Like, I think it's comfortable for him, but I do see a more rotation being put in more than I expected for sure.
Okay. So what are your basically your match prediction? Like, how do you think that the game is going to turn out?
I think we're gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's gonna be a goal fest. I think maybe 2-0, 1-0 us.
2-0, 2-0. Okay,
I don't
I
think we're
actually
gonna concede.
okay. Okay, I actually don't think that we're going to see it either. But well, if the defense of like our starting defense starts, we're not conceding because fun fact, that defense actually hasn't conceded a single goal.
Which one?
The defense of Balde, Araujo, Christensen, and Kunde.
I mean, it's so solid. Like I don't
Yeah,
see how it
exactly.
would.
It's so solid. Um, but I'm gonna go with a match prediction of what? 1-0. I'm gonna go with the 1-0 Barcelona
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
victory.
one of my
Yeah,
predictions too.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just because look, listen, Barca, their biggest problem right now is finishing chances. That's Barca's biggest problem, and it's true. Like that's a very nice kid.
Yeah,
Um,
this is actually I was like now going away from the game, guys. We both gave our match predictions. You give 2-0, right?
yeah, no, I was just saying that. Yeah, Barca's biggest problem is finishing chances, and they just gotta watch out for that. But I think it'll be a low scoring game regardless. It'll be a pretty
Yeah,
close game.
yeah. But guys, this is the kit that we're going to be wearing tomorrow. It's the new fourth kit. It's a new fourth kit, the Senora kit. Um, I actually think it looks pretty nice. Like when you think about it, um, I think it's much better than how it was before.
I mean, I thought it was nice. I stopped my sentence just to comment on it. Yeah, it's not crazy with the design, and I like it. It's simple.
Yeah, it's basically a nice kit. And I remember like the last kit, like this fourth kit that we used to have previously, with the stripes like across. We were using it for like the past like 3 years or something. And it's nice to change things up. Um, but Alex, I want to get your thoughts on what basically La- the report saying that now we have to reduce 150 to 200 million off our wage bill. Apparently, when we were trying to basically give La Liga the Gavi's contract because we renewed Gavi's contract, and we were trying to bring Gavi into the first team, he was basically like that contract was denied. La Liga said, "Hey, you have to reduce your salary between 115 to 200 million." Now, that's crazy because when you think about it, like what
Yeah,
huge earners are still at the club with the exit of Messi, Piqué, Suarez, Coutinho, all these players. Like we still need to lower
listen,
that wage bill
I
that
honestly
much.
think personally, I mean, not that my opinion really matters when it comes to these huge financial corporations, but I think La Liga is um the most excessive of all the leagues when it comes to like taxation and making sure well, not necessarily taxation, but like when it comes to the monetary things, like players not being overpaid, teams not overspending. And I understand there needs to be a balance, but I think it's too much. I honestly think it's too much, and to me it kind of shows an agenda against Barca because we're one of the few teams that's always getting signaled out.
No, okay. So these are the Barcelona salaries, the reported salaries. You see that Frankie De Jong and Busquets are still our highest like salary earners, with Robert Lewandowski, just because like these are the salaries from Bartomeu. As you see, the new salaries uh, from the Laporta era, they're almost nothing. You see right here, for example, Gavi renewed 6 million. Pedri, such an important player, 9 million. What like if the salary cap right now is at 250 million euros with the entire squad, and they want to lower it to like 150 million? Like this is, and on top of that, we know that Javier Tebas is a Real Madrid fan. We know him. He's a Madrista, Madridista, how you say it. And he has like he doesn't like Barcelona. We clearly know just because of his of Barcelona's interest in the Super League and in basically us not signing that CVC deal. So there is some tension between that, and I think that is why La Liga isn't allowing us to basically like go through with this, because when you think about it, we have to lower this by 150 million. Our wage bill, like what is Real Madrid's wage bill compared to this?
Yeah, I mean, impossible for me to know. I don't think I could bring up the numbers right now, even if I could. But
Let me see if I can pull up Real Madrid salary.
yeah, it's what I was saying. It feels like there's an agenda against Barca, and especially now that the team is looking sharp, that is looking bright, that the future is actually looking good for Barca. Um, we're on track to win the league, and we're also doing fairly good in the. We already won the Supercopa, and we're doing good in the Copa Rey. So honestly, it just feels like a big agenda against us, and
Okay,
I don't know.
so this is Real Madrid's. You see that their total wage gap it's 290 million. Barcelona's 250. So are you saying that Real Madrid have to basically offload 150 million euros as well just to register a contract? And on top of that, like for example, we just had Memphis Depay leaving and BK leaving, so the two players left, and we still can't even like renew one.
Yeah, it's an
It
agenda.
makes no sense. And then when you look, for example, at what the Premier League is doing, we have just seen how Chelsea has spent 553 million in the last two windows. And what's it called? The Premier League is not doing anything. When you look at how the Premier League is spending and spending and spending and spending, how is La Liga or at least or basically any other team outside of the Premier going to be competing with them? Because it makes it so much impossible. Like the super strict financial rules in Spain.
I honestly think, yeah, it's that was I was that's what I was saying at the beginning. It's also a problem of how conservative they are with all of that spending in Spain. I think it's almost to a fault. Like, I understand the whole concept of it being balanced, so it's fair. But I don't know. Like, I think it's too much. Like I said, it's why are you going so deep into? You get me?
Yeah. Well,
But
whatever. You know what?
ultimately, I just think that they should just deregulate it a lot more, so they just even out the playing field, right? I'm not saying spend 2 billion on a transfer window, but I'm saying like I don't think what Chelsea are doing is wrong. I think it's a good thing. Your owner wants you to win,
No,
and I
exactly.
hate Chelsea. I'm a Spurs fan. I can't stand that team.
Oh
No,
yeah, we may criticize like Chelsea spending, but they're spending. Like
but I will
if they
want
have the
them to
money,
do that
spend
shit.
it.
I will want them to do that stuff at Barca. I want to do that too at Spurs. Like,
Mm,
who doesn't want their owner to be spending big and getting them the
yeah,
players they need?
yeah,
That's common sense to me.
you could debate on like if they're spending it correctly, but that's for another topic.
Of
And
course.
last topic before we round off, what do you make of the Marcos Alonso renewal? Marcos Alonso has renewed until 2024. Uh, what do you make of that?
I think it's fine, honestly. I'm not a big fan. I don't really like what he's done so far. Like, I think he's very iffy. As a center back, he's not terrible. But listen, it's depth, squad depth. It's what it is. You never know when you're gonna need him. God forbid tomorrow all of our center backs get injured. You have him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think just this is like Xavi likes him. It's a squad player.
Yeah, and look,
He's played
maybe I was,
decently under Barcelona,
yeah,
and
maybe I was a little too harsh with the criticism. I don't think he's a mediocre player either. I just think he's nothing special, but that's fine. You don't have to be Paolo Maldini or
yeah,
Carlos Puyol to be in our defense. It's
yeah,
he will do as a good rotation player. You can
yeah,
put you
yeah.
can even argue to put him in tomorrow.
If he's not on like super high wages and nothing like that, for example, let me see at what his wages are right now.
Yeah, as long as he's not a financial burden and he's
Yeah,
there like for the team.
He's on 6 million euros gross, gross. So what? Maybe that's like a couple. I don't know the tax rate in Spain, but
It's pretty high.
yeah, it's pretty high. I think it's like 50% or something like that, or even more. But it's manageable. It's manageable as long as he doesn't get like an extreme pay increase. I wouldn't mind renewing him. Good squad player and everything. But guys, this is the end of episode 71. As always, I post a link on Twitter. If any of you guys want to join, you're always welcome to. We like having more people to basically discuss and basically argue. And just debate on like all the things of Barca. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you guys all on tomorrow. Basically, after the match, we'll give you our match reaction, and hopefully it ends in the Barcelona victory.
Stay tuned, guys. Thank you.
Exactly. Peace out, guys.